Indie animation is more successful than ever. New pilots are pulling millions of views, getting greenlit into full series, and building massive fan communities. So when a brand new project enters the scene, you'd think its biggest priority would be proving itself to audiences. But sadly, that is not the case with this new indie pilot, Chimptopia. Over the past few days, its teaser has taken over the animation space, but definitely not for the right reasons. In fact, we'd go as far as to say this 47-second teaser is a masterclass in what not to do when promoting an indie pilot. It's brain damage on a whole new level, and in this video, we'll show you exactly how Chimptopia managed to sink its own ship before it ever left the harbor. If you are fortunate enough not to have encountered this glorious mess named Chimptopia, let us give you a short intro. Chimptopia is described on its Kickstarter page as an animated sitcom about three 20-something-year-old friends who need money so they don't get evicted by their landlord, Chimp. This pilot follows Robbie, Nolan, and Waffles as they get a job at their local fast food joint, where they are tasked with working a minimum wage job. The creator of the series is a guy named Robert Pagliaro, who said he wanted to give the animation space something creative with his new indie pilot, Chimptopia. And to be fair, it is definitely something. We're being completely serious when we say that. The teaser is apparently meant to be a showcase of its greatness. It dropped on June 14th, just a few days ago, and has already crossed 12 million views. Though we should probably clarify, most people who watched it are not exactly applauding it. Why? Well, you can judge that for yourself. After watching it, you might start to feel like everyone in this industry has been severely underestimating the power of pure confidence. And if you're familiar with the indie animation scene, you probably already see where this is going. But if not, don't worry. We'll break down why this teaser feels completely unhinged. For starters, did you notice the dinosaur character? It bears a very noticeable resemblance to Gobbles from another indie pilot, Gameoverse.
La 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 la. We collected all 6 of the missing vowels.
For context, Gameoverse is a highly successful indie project from Ross O'Donovan, also known online as Rubber Ross. It's a long-running passion project that has been in development since 2009 and is widely praised for its direction and execution. Its first episode alone pulled in over 27 million views on YouTube. Now, here's where things get interesting. Somehow, the Chimptopia teaser decides that instead of focusing on introducing its own world, characters, or tone, it would rather take a jab at Gameoverse, a project that is, by every measurable standard, significantly more established and successful.
Oh well, my name is Boggles, and I'll say video game characters with my friends.
Oh brother.
I'm a learner.
Another one of these.
And we love to reference video games. Mario Brothers.
Okay.
Mega Man. Street Fighter. Whoa! Oh God!
Trust me, you would not have wanted to watch that pilot anyway.
And what makes this even more bizarre is that the teaser barely tells us anything about Chimptopia itself. There's no real setup, no strong hook, no clear identity, just scattered jokes and a strange attempt at commentary that most viewers didn't even ask for. So instead of making a strong first impression, it ends up doing the exact opposite. To say that people were unhappy would be an understatement, because the reaction to this teaser was pure outrage. When you yourself have not done anything to prove yourself, taking a jab at someone who has does not just sound mean-spirited, rude, and absolutely ridiculous. It tells people how dumb you actually are, and that's exactly what happened here. Everything that this teaser tells you about Chimptopia is that its creators have no real talent and no real storyline they can actually present to us. So instead, they try to cover up their lack of artistry by pulling down something that is significantly bigger than their own show. And this blatant audacity does not just end at the teaser. The show's Kickstarter page is actually even worse. There are several things wrong here, but let's begin with something that is outrageous as hell: the stretch goals. You would not believe this, but they want people to fund over $500,000 so they can release 4 episodes of Chimptopia plus $200,000 for a musical sequence in episode 3. They are also demanding $50,000 just to release episode 2. That alone tells you how out of touch Chimptopia's creators are. You need $500,000 to release something that, at first glance, is completely ununique, bland, and, in our personal opinion, bad. If the creators had actually shown something to the audience that was worth that much money, we would be okay with setting up such huge goals. But all they have shown us up until this point is their teaser, which is nothing but a joke compared to other successful indie animations. On the Kickstarter page, the character descriptions are also very vague and confusing. For instance, the lead character named Robbie is described as a very joyous and optimistic guy, while he looks kind of pissed off for eternity in every frame of the teaser, like he was born with a resting bitch face. Not exactly a very joyous trait. Nolan is described as someone who has literally no aspirations in life. His character is basically described as someone who wants wants to do nothing, likes chatting up women, and hates everything, including gluten. The most interesting thing is that his hobby is described as chatting up women, and his likes are also described as women. How thoughtful and unique, really. And for some really strange reason, the creators also wanted us to know that Robbie likes pasta and Waffles like steak. We mean, what are we supposed to do with this information? You are asking people $500,000, and all you are telling people is that Waffles likes steak and Robbie likes pasta. Tell us why we should even care about this series if you are asking for this much funding. And looking at the Kickstarter page of this indie pilot, it's easily one of the most uninspiring things ever. The character sheets are bland. The show description sounds like something that's highly unoriginal, and the creator shows no real understanding of how to properly promote the show. It's a recipe for failure. Why would people put their hard-earned money into this project when its creator, Robert, is not just blatantly inauthentic, but also likes to associate with people like Nick Fuentes? If you don't know who this dude is, know that he's the type of person that no sane artist or creator would willingly associate with in the digital space. Nick is known for pushing extremely far-right extremist ideologies online, like praising Hitler, cracking anti-Semitic jokes, and denying the Holocaust. As it turns out, this guy, Robert, actually created artwork for Nick's merchandise. It was in his portfolio. When people found this out after the release of their outrageous teaser, Robert deleted the artwork from his portfolio and went on to clarify the situation on Twitter, saying he had no idea how controversial Nick was when he created the art for his merch, which is honestly very hard to believe. Robert really seems to lean toward problematic ideas, and the apology video he posted after the backlash from his teaser is a pretty strong example of that. To apologize for the teaser of his show, he decided it would be a great idea to show the main character, Robbie, getting lynched by gobbles.
Hey guys, sorry for all the fuss I caused. Ow! Let me make it clear. I have no hate for Gameoverse or the Glitch crew. Ah! I love animation, and especially indie work. Fuck! My intention was not to try and put down another person's project, but rather make a lighthearted joke to stir up conversation about ours. Fuck! So, all that to say, we hope you still consider supporting us, and we promise, we are definitely not a Family Guy clone. Fuck! Yeah, how does that asshole?
This is by far the biggest what the f moment of the entire situation, because who is coming up with these ideas? Seriously, if these kinds of brain dead, absolutely horrific choices are coming directly from Robert, then it raises a very real question about what Chimptopia is even trying to be, or who it is meant for. They already hinted at crude humor on their Kickstarter page, and now this seems to be the direction they are comfortable going in, characters getting lynched as part of humor or commentary. So yeah, Robert probably realized this was in bad taste, just like his teaser, and has since deleted both videos from his Twitter. But shortly afterward, he tried to clear the air again by posting on Twitter. He claimed that he did not want to attack Gameoverse, but instead just create a friendly rivalry with them. Our question is, a rivalry over what exactly? You haven't even released a trailer for your own show yet, and you're already trying to start a rivalry with a series that is already an established success in the indie animation scene, and not just that, a completely one-sided rivalry. There's a good chance the creator of Gameoverse, Ross, doesn't even know you exist, let alone that you're trying to initiate a friendly rivalry with him. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network doing it is one thing. You trying to do it before you've even established yourself in the industry is something entirely different. So if there's anything Chimptopia accidentally turns into, it's a very expensive guide on what not to do when promoting your indie show. First of all, don't introduce your project by making it look like a joke and then expect people to take it seriously. Second, don't spend your first public impression taking shots at other indie creators who are already far more established than you. And maybe most importantly, don't make your apology video worse than the original problem. Characters getting lynched on screen is not clever commentary by any means. And while we're at it, don't ask for $500,000 in funding while your teaser still can't clearly explain what your show actually is. If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe.